screaming. As I forget to actually copy the link. Don't worry about it. It's easy. Jeez, man. Just
The struggle is real.
it really is. When you think of the absolute nature of, hang on, I gotta like move this over here. I don't know, it's not safe for work. uh, you can never be too sure. I know I say that every time, but you can never really be too sure of what may just be on my Twitter.
Or in a game, for that matter.
Or in any game. That's right. Oh boy, don't let me relive that, please. Here. Speaking of video games, Jeans,
Video games?
do you see this boat?
Oh, that's a nice boat.
Yeah, they put the last part of the game, the last of the game.
What is the significance of this boat?
You know, without spoiling it, let's just say that we grow as a people.
Should we just say spoilers and just go all out? I mean,
Zombies.
let's be real.
That's the
Most people that might view this, they already know.
Yes.
It's painful to admit, but everybody knows.
They do know. This is a game where the leaks were the most accurate thing about it. I would
and
say
the most irritating. You could say the most irritating to find out.
Yes. It was like, usually spoilers are like, oh, Iron Man dies. Like, oh man, that fucking sucks.
No. Let's go with video game equivalents here. Fallout 4. You have to nuke the city or kill your son. Which, I mean, is a weird spoiler for sure. And did it upset anybody? No, not really. I don't think so.
I don't think.
If anything, it made everyone raise their eyebrows. Like, hey, hold up. How is this going to play out? How is Fallout going to play out this time around? I have to nuke the oh, okay, sure. Why not? But in this particular case, the leaks were so thorough, so detailed, and again, so accurate. That how could it not be infuriating? There's no other ways to spin this alleged zombie game.
Zombies. What zombies?
The leaked build was very accurate. Some people said, oh no, they might have changed it by now.
The only thing that they actually changed in this game from the leaks to now was when, spoiler alert, when Joel dies.
Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, spoilers ahead. When Joel fucking gets murdered, and they're all standing around talking, there was one part where they're actually audible and you can hear the infighting. They took that out and covered it up with like just sound.
It was just silence.
Mm-hmm.
Owen's like, no, we can't kill her. It will be as bad as them. But for them, they decided to, well, for the final release, they decided to mute all that. To, I guess, make it ambiguous as to why they were sparing Ellie. But,
well, maybe
I mean, make me like them or dislike them any less. I hate them. I think everybody hates them. I don't know what Neil Druckmann was going for.
You know, he brings up, Gilvian brings up a great point. The leaks were not made by a game developer. Sony tried to defend a leaker that knew how to use a dev console and has full knowledge of the game. And that's kind of the thing is, like, even if Sony were to say that line in particular, like, oh, it wasn't made by anybody that is working for, you know, X company, that doesn't matter now because the leaks are out there and they're accurate. I mean, before this game launched.
But Jason Schreier is on the hunt.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he ever found it.
He's gonna find that motherfucker. You're gonna leak games on his watch? I don't fucking think so.
I think that you're missing right there, bud. But you know, like, so in the scenes that you can probably just go through and find out, like on the last episode of The Last of Us, on the last previous part,
The last episode of
oh,
The Last
God.
of Us.
It makes me so angry because now I'm getting liquored up and I'm
Oh my
looking at
God!
this
Look
game.
at Joel. What a bad person.
Well,
Oh, this is a terrible. Look at him.
so
He's a criminal.
people were saying like, well, the end of The Last of Us, the original one, is that you come to a realization that these people bad.
They really are. The Fireflies kind of are bad.
Bad actually.
They engage in human trafficking. They engage in terrorist acts to destabilize the green zones.
Mm-hmm.
They back to the human trafficking. They bring in immune people to cut open their brains on the dim hope that they might find some sort of cure. The Fireflies were not presented all that great in the first game.
No, they were not.
They were not presented as good people. So at the end, when Joel has the moment of, you know what, I don't want them to kill her, and strikes back against the Fireflies, I guess Neil Druckmann wanted us to feel this was morally gray. Oh, but you denied them a cure. They might have got a cure this time. No, evidence points to they probably were not going to be successful. They're probably not ever going to be successful. The hospital was in like shambles. It was not a well-maintained place.
Yeah, they was going to kill her, and that was the whole thing about like.
That's what I thought the point was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the point was, oh, they're gonna kill her. Are you gonna let them kill her for maybe a cure, or are you going to end any hope for a cure but save Ellie? Oh, this is so morally great. Bravo.
We did it, and even like gameplay wise, speaking to the first game, it's different.
And all the players walked away with the satisfaction of, oh, I saved Ellie. I really don't care about those Firefly people. And Neil Druckmann said, my God, they missed the point.
Like, oh my God, I have to save these poor idiots.
How do I save my franchise? They've misunderstood it. These fucking retards. Fucking gamers.
These gamers learned nothing.
The gamers saved this character they bonded with over the course of the entire game. What a bunch of fucking morons. What do I do for a sequel?
Oh, you know what?
How do I rein this back? How do I rein this back? What is that? Oh, well, it's a golf club, sir. I'm going out to go golfing this weekend. Oh, are you?
Well,
show me your swing. I'm curious.
Be made the next best Tiger Woods game.
I didn't
even need to make it.
Epiphany. I've had a moment of inspiration.
Oh, man. So, speaking back to the first game, though, the gameplay-wise, there was no jump button because they didn't want to have a jump button.
Well, jumping wasn't a thing.
It was not.
Jumping in gaming was kind of... I mean, it was a talked-about concept.
Well, they wanted to differentiate Uncharted from The Last of Us, and they made it a very strong point to say, this is a whole new IP, this is in no way connected to The Last of Us, or to Uncharted, so that's why they made this game the way that they did, without the jump function. And so you were essentially grounded on a level of, like, if you can't jump in real life, would you be able to jump in this far in this game?
Why can't they jump on top of this car?
Oh, well, because most people would probably fucking just fail.
You would jump at it, your foot would catch on the fender, and you would fall on your face.
Mm-hmm. And so, even speaking out of that kind of form, you can see that everything that they've done now for 4 years, it doesn't really matter. So, with The Last of Us Part 2, they decided to put you back into the shoes of Joel for about 5 minutes of not actual gameplay.
Gotta lure you in.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make you feel comfortable. It's like, oh man, we're back in The Last of Us.
Yeah, and usually when you do a game that is a sequel like this, you want to make people familiar with your characters again, and you want them to be reintroduced. And say that you wanted to, I don't know, make this game better. First of all, you can kill Joel. No one's saying you can't kill him. We're saying
But
that
execution is a big part of that.
yeah, the execution was just all over the goddamn place.
Were you not shocked? Were you not surprised?
I was very angry.
Oh, and that's oh man, bravo, Neil Druckmann. Effective writing. He made you angry. He made you feel emotion.
Yeah, he evoked emotion in the worst way possible.
Dude, game of the fucking year.
Now you're familiar with a lot more of Kojima's games than I am, but at no point did he ever say in like any sequel, well, we got to kill Snake. In the first 2 hours of this 30-hour cutscene filled game.
In its defense, Metal Gear Solid 2 starts with you playing as Raiden.
Yes.
And a lot of people didn't like playing Raiden. No, wait, it has you playing as Snake, and then the latter half you're playing as Raiden. My bad, I got it backwards. People can roast me for that later. But it wasn't like you got to kill Snake now. Oh, here's this new character, Raiden. You have to kill Snake. Didn't happen. And in the case of the death of Snake, Metal Gear Solid 4 is arguably the death of Solid Snake. It obviously doesn't. I mean, for those in the know, it's what, a 10-hour movie?
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 4. Obviously, it doesn't end in his death. But if it did, the execution of Metal Gear Solid 4, the struggle of Solid Snake to bring this long-running game, if you will. This thing started with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
For it to finally all come full circle and Solid Snake to bring it to a close and then die afterwards would have been fine. I think everybody would have accepted that. They'd say, oh man, it was the most emotional thing in my life. Rather, we've got a different ending, and there are many justified criticisms for it. Big Boss being the the stickler of the issue. But talking about main character Solid Snake, he was handled very well. I would say Kojima has a lot of passion, if you will, for the product he puts out. And Neil Druckmann, and again, I'm talking out my ass here, but he seems to have nothing but spite for what he made. To go back to one of my tweets, to say Neil Druckmann read an edgy Sonic fan fiction and said, this is profound. You see, in this chapter, Shadow shoots Sonic, and Sonic dies. Damn. Hits you right here. I love it. It happens so suddenly. Neil Druckmann doesn't, I mean, again, assumptions, but he doesn't seem to get why everyone liked The Last of Us. Or rather, if he does, he actively set out to subvert it.
Yeah, he set out to make this the not game.
We've seen subversion play out before. What was it called? It was The Last. Jesus, it started with The Last. Necro, please refresh me.
Damn
it! It was like the second. It was the second part of I guess a trilogy.
Was it something that has to do with space?
Where people were like really passionate about it too. It was another series that everyone was really passionate about, and sure enough, when they got served up a shitty subversive sequel, they reacted with anger.
Oh, you mean Gears of War?
No, it can't be it.
It's not.
That can't be it. No, Gears. Everybody loves the original Gears.
It's Mass Effect, right?
Mass Effect 2 kind of went off the role play mechanics, but it kind of came out a little more polished for the interactions.
Look, Chipper ruined the entire thing. Look at here,
Chipper,
come on. It's the last Jedi. Yes,
the last Jedi. They took, let's think about Luke Skywalker. Everybody loves Luke Skywalker.
Staple of the series.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker wasn't a big part of The Force Awakens, but we wanted to know what he was up to all this time.
We told his story already. That's what they'll tell you on the internet.
Surely the second film will give a nice big role to Luke Skywalker. That really respects his character. Oh, never mind. They put somebody in charge that hated Star Wars and wanted to make a subversive film, and everybody hated it.
It's the way that you treat pre-established characters, like Joel, for in this instance. Joel is a character. In the very first game, you see that he is a working man, comes home, and it's just him and his daughter. When the outbreak starts happening, his daughter gets murdered. And it's in a predictable way, but it's how you feel about the characters that you kind of just tear up a little bit.
Kind of feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, you feel bad, and then you see, you see a time skip happen, and it's like years afterwards, and that's where you're kind of like just surviving. Everyone's getting by, and there's militia people, the Fireflies, and
zombies.
And then there's zombies, and you see more of the zombies and how people are dealing with this outbreak. And then he meets Ellie. And they're like, you got to get Ellie you got to get her all the way here to the Fireflies in Seattle. You got to get her here in all these places or wherever.
Human trafficking.
Yeah, this human trafficking ring that you're not aware of, by the way. You're not
getting paid, so I mean, isn't that bad?
Yep. And so when people don't play the first game, and then they're like, hey, do I have to play the first game to understand this one? You kind of do now.
To hate this one.
Yeah, to hate this one. Yeah, to hate this one, you have to play the first game.
To like part 2, you have to have not played the first one.
Yes, because in this one, they give him this scene where he plays the guitar, and he's just hanging out with Ellie for like 5 minutes. This is one of the only scenes of humanization and character that you see of Joel this entire game. That's it.
Fuck. What a recap.
Like, I mean, before he inevitably gets teed up in everybody's golf, the best game for PlayStation consoles.
Exclusive to PlayStation.
Yep. So they play everybody's golf with Joel. He loses, unfortunately, and people say,
lose,
well,
did he though? He got to leave the series.
Well, I mean, you're kind of right.
They can't hurt him anymore.
But it was like they have him pretty much meet up. I don't think it's in this thing, but they have him pretty much rescue who is the main antagonist of this game.
You mean protagonist? The future is now old man.
Oh yeah, the future is now old man. But like, you see how they have him in just these scenes. He gets killed off not too long after this, because you don't see him from this point forward until he gets murdered. And then they're like, oh man, Joel's dead. Don't you feel anything? Yeah, I'm pissed off. Why'd you fucking kill him for? In the weakest way possible.
Oh, is that the incel rage coming out?
Yeah, it's the incel rage of me playing the prior work and knowing exactly how these characters and the dynamics worked. Ellie and Joel were essentially a team.
You liked the first game and you liked these characters?
Too well, kid.
Too bad, kiddo.
Yeah, and it's like, you can kill Joel just after they golf him. There's some scenes later on where you're having like flashbacks and these weird mental problems where you see Joel and he's still alive, or you see the flashbacks where he's, teaching you and experiencing stuff with you and celebrating your birthday and stuff. And then it's like, that should have been before he died. So that way you can experience who this character is if you've never played the first game. Then somebody somewhere would be like, oh, I get it now. He really likes Ellie because it reminds him of his daughter. Oh, he celebrates and hangs out with her. And then it's like, nope, we're just gonna kill him. Like, whoever
you weren't. No. Neil Druckmann, his message to us is, if you idolize this character, you're missing the point.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yep.
Did you like playing as Joel? Did you like the interactions between Joel and Ellie? You're missing the point. You're not supposed to like these characters.
It's fucking
lazy.
It's lazy. Like, they had a million different ways that they could have told this story, and they didn't. And if we go to the gameplay part of it, instead of the graphics, which the graphics are good, to be fair, The graphics are immaculate. I even said that about Uncharted 4. But when you have this type of game with, oh, well, we added the jump mechanic. Well, most games do, but the reason they didn't is because the first game didn't want it to be like an action adventure game. They wanted you to survive. They wanted you to craft weapons, traps, and everything to defeat the zombies that aren't in this game.
Immerse yourself in the world.
Yes. And that didn't really happen in this game. It just, oh, well, there's people, there's a settlement. They close it off, and there's walls to keep out the infected. So the infected are literally just an afterthought to this entire story. They don't know how to balance they don't know, Neil Druckmann doesn't know how to balance how zombies and people need to be a thing. And all he did was read the playbook of, oh, well, I watched a few episodes of The Walking Dead. This is good enough.
There's no zombies in that.
Yeah, there's like virtually no zombies in The Walking Dead. But that's because The Walking Dead isn't just about the zombies. It's about these settlements, and they make it very clear that there's people out against you. It's about people surviving people. But this was written in a time where Neil Druckmann thinks that people hate people, just in general.
People are the real monsters.
Yep, and you play through the entire game as Ellie, and you murder a bunch of people until you get to the last person that you need to kill, and then you don't kill them because killing is bad.
Don't you feel bad about killing all those people? Didn't you see how they lovingly animated? If you hit some chick in the chest with an arrow, she'll sit there moaning and screaming for 15 minutes. Don't you feel bad?
Look,
you did that. You did that to her.
Gilvian is right. Neil Druckmann did cry playing his own game. He said, I can't wait to make that sweet paycheck off of all these idiots.
God. Oh, look, the doggo. Can you pet the doggo? Yes. Can't wait to stab you in the throat later.
I know. We kill doggos here. You have to advance the story. Don't you feel bad?
They're doggos that you interacted with once. You are the monster.
Yeah, it's...
Humans are the real monsters.
Humans bad, actually. Isn't that so profound? And that's the thing I don't get. People shit on Kojima for making statements, and they're like, oh, well, Kojima games are nothing but political. No. No. They're not political.
Presentation is everything. Your games can have political themes. It can have politics in it. Sure, why not? But then there's more ham-fisted examples, such as The Last of Us.
Ham-fisted isn't even the right word I would use for it.
What word would you use?
I would use the R word, but I don't know if they're gonna demonetize the shit out of us. But that's what they're doing to me. They're R wording me with this.
Surely there's nicer words we could use in place of that. I mean, let's think here. Just say railing. They're railing you.
Oh, so this scene right here is kind of important too. This old man got really pissed off because he's stuck in his ways of, I hate the gays and I hate the lesbians. So he got drunk the night before. These are scenes that you don't see. He got drunk and he pretty much yelled at them. And he, in a way of apologizing, he says, I'm sorry, I was drinking too much last night and I said things I didn't want to say. Here's some sandwiches. And so then she takes the sandwiches. Christ,
Ellie, don't be an asshole.
No, that's not even the worst thing that she says. You be safe out there. And then, she takes the sandwiches, right? And she gives them to her now ex-boyfriend and says, bigot sandwiches.
Jesus Christ.
Stunning. And brave.
Ellie, please. Not like this.
Oh my God.
Stick up her ass.
Yeah, it's... That's the scene.
I'm sorry for being an asshole to you last night. I thought, here's a little good gesture of, goodwill. I'm sorry about that. Oh, are you? Well, Ellie's being your typical woman. Truly, Neil Druckmann has captured the spirit of Whammon. Teenage Whammon.
No. I mean,
yes.
Probably current year, but even
current
then.
Year.
But look, so the game...
This is so topical.
Yeah, the game came out. The original one came out in 2013. I believe it came out in 2013, right?
Have the times changed, and
And this
Ellie
is
with it.
well, it came out in like 2013 or so, maybe even before that. And you essentially skip forward 4 years because this is a direct sequel that takes 4 years after like the scene
I'm
that
sure.
you
I'm
saw
sure he
earlier.
didn't mean to. No, we're fine. Ellie, please, just let it go. Man, Ellie is a sure little bundle of hate.
Ugh.
No, just say fuck you. Tell her fuck you.
Oh my
Man,
god!
Ellie's not even.
Wait,
It's not even punished Ellie yet.
when you get your girlfriend to the stables, like, bro, like, he wrote this. He wrote this game. Neil Druckmann wrote this game. Like, you don't write how hostile all of your characters are because there's lesbians in the game. That's why people probably fucking hated it, because he's trying to make you hate lesbians. He's like, oh, look, this guy hates lesbians. This other guy also is very upset that there are lesbians.
Now watch these lesbians treat these people like shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. By the way, spoilers. I know we're too far into that territory. Her girlfriend here, that's appropriate to call her. She is pregnant, which means that she was cheating on Ellie, essentially.
What?
What?
I thought Dina wanted a kid and Ellie wanted a kid, so Ellie got cucked so that Dina could have a kid for Ellie.
That's probably what happened. Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And she's like, oh, well, how long have you known? She's like, for a couple of weeks.
Yay!
She's like, but I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to be a burden. She's like, oh, now you're a burden now. You're a burden
Bitch.
right now.
Oh, man. There you go, Ellie. Kill them. Make sure there's a rock in some of your snowballs, because remember, people are fucking trash.
Yeah, people are fucking terrible, and you got to show them how terrible they really are.
Teach these kids a valuable lesson about trust.
God damn it. Right in the face. Fuck him.
Yeah,
Fuck that
get
kid.
him. Get him.
Fucking back. Yep.
Where's the executions?
Just fucking...
Where's the executions? Come on, Neil Druckmann.
I know, I love tutorial.
Dude, the reason I watch The Last of Us Part 2 is to watch kids kill each other. Come on, Neil. Stop holding back. This is like a tease.
Bam.
There it is. Now smash the kid's head against the slide. Oh my god, they're assaulting her. Ellie, do something.
Yeah, she's doing it. Look it. See?
Do something.
Yeah, the past 4 years are in the flashbacks, which should have been... look, even if they didn't put it at the very beginning of this game, they could have put it before Joel dies. They had so much time that they could have padded all of this, or at least introduce us to this main villain lady who clearly only has one goal.
Main villain? What are you talking about?
Oh, I mean our new main hero.
It's clear that Abby is going to be the main character going forward from here.
Well, yeah, she did.
We have killed Joel.
Mm-hmm.
We have maimed and punished Ellie for the sin of existing, for being a liked character from the first game.
Yes.
We've thoroughly punished her for being liked by the gamers. Ugh, it makes me nauseous to say that word. But the gamers have been punished appropriately. Now it's going to be Abby. We're going to see where Abby goes and her great adventures as the last of her own kind.
So something I've noticed, and this isn't a knock against voice actors or voice actresses in particular. So there are many that are in the industry that genuinely love the thing that they do. Now, because they love the thing that they do, there are some roles that they will not take, or some positions like at a company that they just don't want to do. I say that because I was talking to someone who has voiced things for me before, and they've told me about their experience of, like, even just someone that they live with. They were like, hey, can you like voice over like this character that you play in like another game, but like sexually, and she's like, no, not doing that. Um, like because they respect the craft of what they do, and they are working for a very big corporation. That if anything like that were to ever like truly happen, oh my god, there'd be a lawsuit out the ass. So when you get to a part where it's Laura Bailey doing the rough sex scene that people never asked for.
What do you mean?
No one asked for
it. Gaming is finally grown up, Necro.
Yeah, it's grown up and it's went through this weird.
It's 2020 now. It's for adults. Finally, a mature game for a mature, hard-thinking.
You know
gamer.
what? Fuck this. Let's go back to Booger Man.
Oh, here's Booger Man.
You want Booger Man back on the Sega Genesis? Play Booger Man.
Looking at Booger Man right now.
Yeah, Neil wanted Laura. She voiced a lot of your favorite childhood characters from most anime that you've seen, Full Metal Alchemist and Soul Eater, things like that. And then she became a video game person, kind of like Troy Baker. Both of them used to work at Funimation and were Funimation voice actors. And then they became people of interest, we'll put it that way, at video game company. And so now you have video game company that has them doing these motion capture scenes, which are fine. But Laura Bailey is someone that has always been forced into a female lead role. Gears of War being one of those, and now this. And she does the motion capture for Abby. And so they had to mocap. So Neil Druckmann and Laura Bailey had to pretty much mocap that entire sex scene. It's weird when you look at it.
I know I shouldn't say this. But Western female characters versus Japanese. Am I right?
Which way, Western man?
You know, I know I shouldn't say that. I mean, again, it's the beauty of video games is you can make anything you want. Really, I mean, you could make hot fucking garbage that pisses all of your fans off, but to willingly, I mean, that's not shitting on Abby.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing inherently. This is the thing that people will probably take out of context.
They put the character of Abby in a very unenviable role.
Yes, and this isn't like we don't hate game because people. We hate game because it's lazy. This game is lazy to the point of they could have wrote this better. Now, obviously, it takes a lot of time.
It's shitty that they have so much tech. They've put in so much money. But look at that jumping. Look at that jump button.
That's why they didn't include it in the original game.
So nice.
Oh,
I just love seeing characters awkwardly skip through the snow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's what we paid, millions of dollars for.
It's thinking back to Disney, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Disney's sins with Star Wars. You would think they couldn't do wrong. They have so much money. They have infinite money.
Pretty much.
With the Last of Us Part 2, it's like, look at this. Look at this polish.
Yeah, the graphics are spectacular.
Technically, this is such a competent game. It's amazing.
Jump button.
What a way to send off the PS4. But on that note,
right. On that note, well, I mean, they still technically have Ghost of Tsushima, which looks pretty normal.
It's to make a food analogy. The Last of Us Part 2, it's like a sandwich. It's like a bigot sandwich.
That's what I was going to say. That was my next
it looks so good. But and when you take a bite out of it, it's like, that's tasty. But then the sandwich berates you about how much of a shitty person you are. And you're like, oh, why? Why is my sandwich doing this? That's not what I get a sandwich for. I wanted the Last of Us sequel that, I mean, doesn't have to do. Could have been any number of things, couldn't it? So many. Where did we go so wrong?
They would have, if they had put Abby's part for, like, that's the thing. I think this game is just out of order. Like, it's just, there's certain events and things that could have just been placed so much differently, and this would have been a much better game.
I think Ellie and Joel's popularity was a runaway success, and they had to find a way to address it. How do you address it? Well, people will want to play as them again. Okay, well, we can put them in the game. But Neil Druckmann's like, but I don't. But Joel and Ellie bad actually.
Like
Why
they
don't the
did,
gamers?
yeah, they
Why
didn't
don't the gamers?
sacrifice themselves to get the
Why
fucking
don't the
cure.
gamers understand that Joel and Ellie were bad actually? So what do we do? You know what? Abby. We're gonna have this Abby character kill them or fuck them up severely,
Mhm.
and everybody will enjoy playing as Abby. It'll be like a really cool passing of the torch by beating them to death.
Wasn't it like a Mega Man game where you had to play as Zero and then you essentially fight Mega Man? Is that like a thing?
Oh, you mean Mega Man Zero?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's kind of like this. Like if they had put this scene first, like if the game had just opened with
well, no.
Abby.
In the defense of Mega Man Zero, if I gotta explain the plot to that, yes, you fight Mega Man X at the end, but it's actually a clone of Mega Man X because Mega Man X sacrificed his body to seal the cyber elf, I think, the dark elf. Thus, a clone of Mega Man X was made to keep order and give people an icon to look up to. Then the original consciousness of Zero woke up, not his body. They made a clone body that Zero's consciousness was stored in. That was woken up by Seal and fought the copy X. Trust me, it makes sense in the end.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense,
Dude, trust me. The original Mega Man X still exists in the world, as does the original Zero, and thus everything is at peace. Everybody can accept Mega Man Zero in the canon. Is the canon absolutely insane? Sure. But does it do a disservice to the original characters? Absolutely not. It does great.
So like I'm noticing like between these characters here, like Abby is the one that's calling the shots, and Owen's like,
what a protagonist.
well, Owen's like, well, like we can go there and like we could be bad people, but
but we really
gotta
shouldn't be.
Yeah, we shouldn't be shitty people. We can go down there and like live our lives. We can, get our stuff. Even if they go down there and just resupply and use them for that, they don't have to kill anyone. But she's out for revenge. This is
I
a
wanna
revenge
kill
plot.
people. We're supposed to like Abby and accept the punishment Ellie is dealt for seeking revenge. Abby's revenge is just. Ellie's revenge, bad actually.
So I noticed that I actually remembered because of chat. Mother's Basement came out with a video about Beyond Two Souls. Or no, Detroit Become Human. Detroit Become Homeless.
Did he become homeless?
No. So people really loved the great games that guy
had
makes.
Gameplay? Did Detroit Become Human have gameplay? I don't think it did. I didn't play it, but I think the general gist was that it's mostly driven by character interactions than anything.
It's kind of like playing LA Noire, but except in LA Noire, you at least get to drive around and shoot people.
Ah. Wait, you can't shoot people in Detroit Become Human?
I mean, you can, but it's a button prompt.
I thought the whole point was like androids and stuff are going rogue.
Some.
You don't get to shoot any?
It's something really, really weird. We can cover it later.
That'll be its own thing, I guess.
Yeah, kind of. It's oh man. Yeah, you're not really supposed to run through this part unless you're like trying to get that cinematic experience, then you just walk through.
Gotta go fast.
Just let her hair fall behind her head, please, game.
Wow, physics. Oh shit.
But
wow, that was really surprising.
Yeah, well, there's zombies in this game now.
What? Zombies?
But I mean, yeah, they.
Nah, it's just a really stressed out person.
Now, someone said, and I kind of thought about this too. I'm still thinking about it. They said that all of these like zombies existed in the first game, right? All the infected.
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck is everyone doing for the past 4 years that they haven't like cleared them out of anywhere?
Well, I mean, to be fair, earlier, Ellie and friends were being given a brief. They were going to go out and patrol for infected. So that they are still clearing out the infected. If anything, up here with the infected in the snow, periodically thawing out, it's probably not that easy to, find them all. I think World War Z, the book anyway, makes reference to that. Zombies in the Tundras.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd seasonally come out of the snow.
You just
imagine going outside to get some firewood and you stumble on some zombie that collapsed there from hunger 5 years ago.
Yeah, you get to go through all these tutorial parts with Abby because that's like you said, it's going to be the new main character, the new hero.
This is your new hero.
Remember Dead Space 3? I don't think anyone does.
I don't. I played the shit out of Dead Space 1 and 2 though.
Dead Space 1, I hear, is almost like the pinnacle of how you make a good survival horror game.
Evolving.
It's like
what's this Gilvian guy talking about? You're saying the fungal infected were evolving into different types of forms and types to adapt to the climate.
Whoops! Well, not in this game, buddy. Not in this game, bigot.
You're gonna get pegged in the ass and you're gonna like it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, so I think I probably brought this up on like my YouTube stream, or maybe no, it was yesterday on the Twitch stream. I was like, we're using SJW in current year.
Did you just fucking say that?
Yeah, it's weird and it's
you've ruined it. You've ruined the recording.
Very, very cringe. But it's like
I can't believe you said
that. A lot of people say it very unironically, oddly enough.
Gross.
And that's kind of like the thing that I'm getting at is like people were in the replies of the Metacritic like, oh well, it's the SJW agenda. I don't think it's the SJW agenda at all. I in fact think it's something different. I think it's just incompetence.
I was about to say, I think it's an idiot's agenda.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's like specific to any sort of brand.
Yeah, I think this is just anyone could have made this.
Anybody could have done this.
Yeah, anybody could have fucking done this and still be an idiot. This is not anywhere close to that.
But humans are bad.
Well, yeah, and
well, no, that's all I wanted to say. Don't you think I'm really intelligent?
Kojima did it better. He did Humans Good, actually. Reconnect America,
humans
Sam.
Good, and we should reconnect and maybe stop being assholes to each other.
Yeah, reconnect.
So that's fucking stupid. we should just kill each other in an endless cycle of violence.
Like they, like there's
Isn't that compelling?
Like, so why does she go off on her own? This makes no sense narratively.
She's driven by hatred.
Apparently. Because she's like, oh, well, I'm going to go off on my own. Fuck it, I got to do something. These other assholes aren't going to do it. And that's kind of what leads us to get her rescued by Joel and then brought over to their mansion that they were staying at. And eventually they play a good game of putt-putt golf.
Did she just choke it out?
I think so.
What?
Here, I can...
She didn't stab it or anything? It just looks like she politely held it for a second and said, all right, well, I'm gonna strangle you with my bicep.
I mean, she is built like a fucking champ.
I won't deny that, but it's like, sometimes I think about like maybe a knife or...
She did choke it to death. The zombie that probably doesn't breathe was choked to death.
Huh?
Zombies.
It's just a reskinned human.
It really was.
It's just a reskinned human.
That was an animation that they just...
that was a human takedown animation. Huh? Man, I sure was heaping praises on this for its technical competence, but...
I mean, they're... oh my god.
But man, when you really peel off the peeling on this orange, you realize it's just a fucking orange. It's not that deep, bro. It's
just a fucking recolored apple that's went rotten. That's it.
That's disgusting.
It's not that
Rotting
bad.
apples are disgusting.
It's not that bad, but
I've never encountered a rotting orange, but I've seen a rotting apple before. That's just gross.
mm-hmm.
An orange, though, man, how does an orange rot? Like, I mean, it's juice mostly. At least with an apple, there's a lot of like appley parts of it that can,
Yeah, you choke the zombies to death.
choke zombies. That's a little stealth choke. What? Shh.
But you can't choke them now because they're alerted and they're a zombie now.
Oh, don't worry. We can turn on some features to stealth again.
Oh, I mean, he doesn't have those enabled.
Turn on some accessibility features. You'll be stealthy again.
God, why? Why even?
Fuck up the stealth? No problem. Here's the stealth slider.
Yeah, the stealth, unlimited fucking
And
stealth.
let's keep this on the record. I'm not shitting on accessibility. Accessibility is great, but sometimes it gets suspiciously excessive, and you wonder if it's a game journalist mode.
Yeah, it gets abused, and not necessarily in like a way that benefits anyone, except for the people that just kind of want to cheese it.
Except for the particular class of gamers. I wouldn't even call them gamers. They're, dare I utter the word, a journalist.
That's the worst thing you can be.
Whew. Imagine getting paid to play stuff you don't like.
Jed Whittaker does it all the time.
You know, it's like, man, I went through college, went through all kinds of writing courses, and but nobody's hiring, so now I just play video games, and I have to write about them. But I really don't like video games.
Gamers, am I right?
Fucking gamers, they don't understand what I'm sacrificing.
Like,
Playing
you
their
see, look,
stupid
you'll come
game.
up and you'll probably choke this one out too, because he doesn't. Same animation, by the way. Zombies that have lived in the cold.
Had been probably frozen, thawed, and refrozen many times.
Yes, and they have lung capacity now.
Well, more importantly, for the speed that she knocks them out, it's a blood choke. That's not an air deprivation choke. That's like a blood choke.
Does she snap their necks? Is that what I'm missing about this animation?
She's so strong, she's snapping their necks.
Like at the very end, let's see if she grabs them again.
I mean, I guess they might be brittle. Think about it. After many years of exposure, maybe they're very brittle necks.
Watch. So when she sneaks up on them, this one. Watch, because right here at the very end, she does a little jerk, cracks their neck.
Which is very well practiced.
Well, she's essentially a UFC fighter. Because she tackles people and does the takedowns like Ronda Rousey.
God, speed.
Yeah, she's
Do you see how fast she moves for that punch?
It choked out runners, I think so. The first game is such an afterthought now that it doesn't really matter because
we gotta dwell on the
sequel's
moment.
here.
Now we have to dwell on the moment.
Yeah, we have to dwell on the moment. Fuck that last game. The last game is not canonical.
I got used to stabbing stuff to death in the last. That's if you get caught, mind you. I mean, for the most part, it's kind of easy to just stealth around the spooky fungal creatures. But I mean, yeah, stabbing stuff that works.
It's just a
Horse
game.
tracks.
If you want, we can actually do something very normal.
Normal.
We can look up the Metacritic, the best website.
Let's see how Game of the Year is.
It's a 3.5 out of 30,000 ratings.
I haven't even logged in yet.
So, Kate brought up a very good point about all of this. She said that 0 to like 1 of these reviews, like ones that have like zeros or ones, and they haven't they came out like within the first hour of the game being released, shouldn't count. But neither should the ones that are 10 out of 10s on the in the same amount of time praising the graphics.
No. More importantly, saying hello incels. That isn't a rebuttal.
This review contains spoilers. Pure poop stain of a storytelling. Gameplay 7 out of 10. Graphics 9 out of 10. Story 69 out of 10. This game is an absolute waste of time and money.
To be fair, I wouldn't defend 0 scores either.
Yeah, I'm
But
not like no one
this
defends them.
is the society gangweed that we live in today. It's so polarized that even if you the player gave an honest score of The Last of Us 2, this is still going to happen. There are still people that are going to hit it with zeros, and there's still people that are unconditionally going to hit it with 10s, 10 out of 10. It's welcome to the PlayStation experience, everybody.
Mm-hmm. And
Welcome
that's
to
kind
the
of the thing
PlayStation
about it
experience.
is like no one's taking all of these seriously, but there are some that do have legitimate gripes. There's this one that says, I've been a huge Naughty Dog fan, but you have to call it for what it is. This is a terrible plot with flat, uninteresting characters. Whoever created this story should be fired for ruining an excellent franchise and wasting the efforts of talented game engineers. I waited 7 years for a heaping pile of garbage to ruin the masterpiece of the original Last of Us. This is the only game I've ever wanted my money back for, but I can't because I have pre-ordered it from PlayStation Network.
Fuck. That's ow.
Yeah, you'll never get your fucking money back.
They got your fucking money.
Yeah, they're not giving it back.
Is he justified to be mad that he wasted his fucking money on a shitty story and Neil Druckmann's self-insert fiction? Sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
This review was made by a troll. Like this one, Elmenhild. They only made one review, and it was for The Last of Us. And it was like, tired of this LGBT propaganda. Tired of seeing over 100 genders in every game for no reason. This part was failure only because liberal values.
Hey, OAG, where are you?
That was it.
You fucker. This is one angry gamer. Where's he at?
Like, there's nothing really about.
Where you at, Billy?
Gender in there. It's just really just about like awful looking lesbians. That was pretty much it.
That is the if you think about stuff that like sabotage the conversation, that's a good example. It's like these types of reviews. Stop it. Stop writing those. This isn't helping.
I like that 3 out of 4 people found that helpful.
3 out of 4 gamers said, "Right on, gamer."
Yeah, but these are just some of the reviews, and you really can't take them for more than what they are, which is just people yelling on the internet. But like I said, some of them are legitimate gripes of the game.
That being said, I'm just amused by the number. Watching the number is kind of amusing.
Yeah, it is very
does this make me a bad person? I hope not.
Well, you would hope that. Yeah, you hate to see it, but you kind of love to see it.
I was about to say, I love to watch this kind of crap. Like, hell yeah, kill each other.
It's like, because we already know it's bad, and even if we didn't see the leaks and we were to play this ourselves, nothing would change the fact that this is a game that has so many things out of order. Like, the chain of events don't make any sense. The characters are written in such a way that they have no layers. Like, her ex-boyfriend has no layer other than being just pissed off Asian guy, and now he's mad and jealous because he hooked up with a lesbian.
You know what's so deep about this? They talk about how this game is about revenge bad. Well, this is Neil Druckmann's revenge.
Yeah.
Wow, this is deep. It was made shitty on purpose. Don't you get it?
No.
Well, of course you don't get it.
I was only pretending to be retarded.
Yes, exactly. He did it to get that response. And he succeeded. Everyone's mad. This is great.
Oh yeah, when you pre-order games, you should never really pre-order games in general.
I didn't to be clear, now that we bring up why you shouldn't pre-order stuff. I did not pre-order Death Stranding. What am I a big fan of Death Stranding, Necro? Would you say I'm a big fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I am, right?
Yeah, you are now, yes.
I was suspicious of Hideo Kojima because the trailers didn't really give away much as to what the game was. And now to point out, all of the promotional stuff was in the game. So he didn't lie. He just managed to keep the true nature of the game kind of hush-hush. And I like that. That's good. I don't need to know the entire story going in. And I didn't pre-order it. I actually bought it, I believe, digitally first. I was very cautious. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to buy this digitally, experience it, see what this is for myself. See what this is. What did Hideo Kojima create by Hideo Kojima? A production by Hideo Kojima. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, this is wonderful. And now to chalk up the tally here, I bought it digitally, I bought it physically, I bought the collector's edition, and I've got the collector's edition PS4 Pro, Death Stranding PS4 Pro. I have it all. I got it all. But boy, am I happy I didn't pre-order game that I had misgivings about.
Right.
You know?
Like, and that was kind of the thing. People were.
I feel bad.
I feel
bad. I feel bad for the people who pre-ordered The Last of Us Part 2 and are coming into this like, man, I really love The Last of Us 1. I'm sure this is a great sequel that respects everything that the first game built up.
Well, yeah, you as a consumer would probably think that anyways. Like, oh, we get to have Ellie and Joel's back in this trailer. Can't wait. And then you go and you play the game, and then it's just,
oh, I gotta kill and maim them all. Okay.
Oops. I mean, like,
coming out of the Force Awakens, you're like, oh, it was kind of like A New Hope, but you know, Star Wars is back.
Yeah, The Force Awakens was the same thing. It was copy and paste, but no one cared.
Disney has infinite money. They made The Force Awakens just kind of restart. That's fair. Everybody can accept that.
Yes.
That's fair. Let's see where they go with these new characters. Oh, damn.
Looks like
After the Last Jedi, I have not watched any of the new Star Wars anythings in theaters or on stream or even pirated it. Like, there's no point. Disney doesn't respect the material, so what's the point of consuming it? And you could say the same thing with The Last of Us here. We're in a very strange position where I don't see how you get a grudge against your characters being really well received and decide you have to end them in the most miserable way possible.
Well, it's not even like really the miserable way. It's just,
but it's so art.
Yeah, it's just like the things that preceded that were just not good.
Now you love Ellie and Joel, right? So play this new game.
Makes me very just.
Now you love it.
Yeah, like the one guy said, he waited 7 years, can't get a refund on this game that should have been like, even if it wasn't as great as he thought it would be, it shouldn't have been this fucking bad.
Well, to say that people are attached to the characters is like an understatement. And again, not saying you can't kill characters. You can, but presentation, execution. Sure, this has a really high budget, but people are looking at the content, and they're not really all that satisfied with it.
Kind of makes me want to make a video about here, since we're
to be fair, you have to have had a lot of sex to understand The Last of Us Part 2.
The Last of Us Part Dos.
You have to have had a lot of sex.
Here, let me regale you with a story by Mother's Basement and the Detroit Become Human video, which I'm pretty sure. God, what is even?
I need to play more Yakuza 0.
But it's sitting at an 83% on Mother's Basement's channel. I thought about watching this video on stream, on the YouTube stream, because I feel like David Cage is kind of one of those people that's kind of up his own ass as far as like, oh, well, we got to talk about these social issues.
No, we don't.
Well, that's why he made this game, and you have malfunctioning fucking androids and whatnot, I guess is like the thing. But it's the worst civil rights allegory Detroit Become Human is.
Oof.
Now, I don't know. People
You're
like
a slave. Wow, this is just like slavery.
Um, this game is set obviously in the city of Detroit, where I was born at.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I get that response every time. But like the thing about Detroit Become Human, at least from the surface level of the marketing of this game, was androids pretty much do all the things that you ask of them. Like it's kind of like that iRobot movie, except with realistic looking robots.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, like so in this
going
is. But it's like you try to stop him you try to stop like all these androids on android violence, kind of.
Do you have
or
to,
androids
though?
on human violence, if you will. But the androids essentially just want freedom, is essentially it. So instead of
Wow.
being programmed as a robot, you
Who's the real monster?
it's the
I saw that
humans.
quote.
Yep. But that's the thing, is like they're trying to get all of the androids, regardless of their race.
Androids,
whatever.
rise up.
Yeah. And they don't necessarily just hate humans. That's not the thing of the game. They don't hate humans. I think they're pretty aware that they're androids. Yeah, we'll probably either cover this in the video if I can get it out in time, but if not, then I think that it would be a
I was gonna
good.
say, wasn't there like a plot point of like they were tampered with?
I think so.
Maybe we are the declining race. Oh man,
Well, it's like this video.
David Cage is proposing the biggest things.
Like the thing about this Mother's Basement video, I saw it a while ago on my radar, and I never really thought much of it. But
This is actually probably a good video.
I really
I'm
want to
surprised.
see it. Yeah, it's
I'm actually really surprised right now. Oh, this is pleasant.
yeah, it's an interesting video.
The duality of man. I can appreciate Death Stranding and all of its politics.
The racism
And
is in your
social
head. The
commentary.
androids are in the back of the bus. Come on, Cage. God bless. God bless you. Cage.
They're whipping androids in fields.
Oh man, this says a lot about society. But at least this game doesn't have zombies in it.
Zombies.
Zombies. How are we gonna sell people on our fucking Last of Us game? Like, how do you sell people this idea? Oh, this is a follow-up, but also the zombies are an afterthought. They are
This might
nothing
as well
more
be-
than
this might as
a.
well be an well, I mean, I guess it's part 2.
Well, they're
I guess
nothing
you could
more than
call
just
it
an
an
obstacle,
extension?
an inconvenience, if you will.
Right. I'm just saying maybe we should be thinking of this as like an extension of The Last of Us. This is like an extended epilogue where they just get fucked. And we transition into our new hero, Abby.
Then they should have just made it DLC.
that doesn't make loads of money though.
No, it
Call
doesn't.
it a full-throated sequel instead of a painful epilogue.
Like, they could have released this as they could have done this as DLC. It just would not have sold as well.
And maybe nobody would have paid attention to it.
Oh yeah,
nobody
maybe no one would have paid attention. It would have been just, oh, it's not canon.
it's DLC, yeah, whatever. Neil Druckmann.
They did that with Dead Rising.
Oh
2.
yeah.
So they had Dead Rising 1, that game that some people remember.
They've done a lot of interesting story DLC for Dead Risings.
Yes, they had Dead Rising. What was it? Dead Rising 2, which was like the one before like the actual game came out. Then they had the Case Files, I think was the one after Dead Rising 2. And
I
like,
think so.
yeah, it's some weird thing that they did.
It's so rough. It's
Yeah.
hard remembering all of Dead Rising.
But Dead Rising
I
2
enjoyed
was
those,
the sequel that we deserved.
Whoa, but it's a different character.
Yeah,
Who's this Chuck Green?
but they didn't.
Oh, he
but
wants to save his daughter.
Yeah, he wanted to save his daughter, and he had clear goals and ambitions. Whereas Frank West was a photographer. He's covered wars, you know.
He's a kick-ass photojournalist.
Yeah, he's covered wars. And I mean, even as that being a thing, that Frank West being a character, he was still like the most normal person in the entire game.
Have an ugly dude though.
Yeah, he's not very good looking, but he was the most,
I think that's
sane
part of Dead
individual.
Rising's charm. A lot of Dead Rising's charm is like, it's pretty. I mean, I know it gets pretty absurd as you go further in, but the game is pretty grounded.
Yeah, it's
The characters don't all have to be attractive. Abby, looking at you, Abby. Why couldn't you do it right? Why couldn't you
no.
pull
What do
it
you mean?
off?
She's a beautiful woman. Neil Druckmann told me so.
Dead Rising can have some ugly or even unsettling looking characters and still be a very appealing game to look at. That's weird.
Jamie, pull up on the screen Dead Rising, please. I need to see it. Dead Rising 1 for the Xbox 360. And maybe even just follow me here. The reason this game did not do as good as it would have done otherwise is the small goddamn font.
What?
The
What are you talking about?
The
Fuck
font.
you.
The font was so small.
Learn to read.
The font was super small.
What, did you play it on a CRT?
I originally, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's why you can't read text. You can't read text on a CRT.
Yeah, you can read them now on the HD part of it, but that was the thing, is like on the 360, they didn't, or at least in that console generation, or at the very beginning.
Dude, I own every video cable for the Xbox 360. Why didn't you just get the oh shit, what was it? Oh fuck. The VGA. Why didn't you get the VGA cable? You dummy.
Well, see, that's the thing. I didn't have disposable income.
It's like you don't even RGB. You disgust me.
But that was kind of the thing, though. Like, people failed the missions multiple times because of you can't read the fucking text.
That's actually pretty funny. I actually played the shit out of the demo because I had even less disposable income than you did.
Oh, I mean, that's all I could play.
I'm just saying, I didn't even have the game. I played the demo repeatedly.
I rented the game at some point.
Wow, must be nice. Must be nice to be able to rent games.
Oh, please. Where are those GameFly commercials at now?
GameFly, where are you? We need you more than ever.
God.
People, GameFly, you don't understand. People are turning to Google Stadia.
Oh my
and
God.
Subscription services.
Yeah, they sent me a thing for Google Stadia. They send a lot of YouTubers some free stuff. So I apparently got my Google Nest Mini thing in the mail the same day that Tevin did. So Google's just handing it out.
Somebody please play our service.
Yeah, Stadia is. They just recently leaked an alpha build, I think.
I'm just saying, like Sega has blown Google out of the water.
Well, where was
Sega's
it?
new fog service, geniuses.
I know how much you love Yong Yeah.
No.
Our favorite.
No.
You love it. You
No.
love to see it.
No.
Look, let me show you something. I mean, I'm not gonna play his voice, but
I was going to say he's never had an original thought in his life.
He's not an original content creator. No,
he reads off articles. It's.
I mean, to be fair,
it's the easiest. It's as easy as me talking.
True,
If only I could have got that grift nice and early.
Well, when you're on the media platform known as YouTube, and you do videos like this, you're essentially putting the news to a face. So instead of you going to like a news station to hear about 3 people being stabbed or something that's probably happening in politics, you instead get a YouTuber to tell you the news, essentially.
Guess what, Necro? I don't listen to the radio either.
I really don't either. I avoid that at all costs.
So yeah, YouTube isn't much of an upgrade.
Yeah, but they had this leaked gameplay, or the game accidentally went live on Google Stadia for about 30 minutes. The game, as it's unfinished, by the way.
Thank you, Google.
Unfinished? You can see Homeboy right here, not even modeled.
It's a god. That's what a god looks like, you idiot.
Yeah, I can see. Gods have...
You don't understand the appearance of God?
But he's supposed to... I don't know. It's based off of, like, the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I think.
That's the Greek god of... It's Apollo.
Yep, they based it off of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like the the same team, but it's supposed to be like a Breath of the Wild. I don't know why everyone's using Breath of the Wild as like a genre of game. It is just an open world sandbox kind of game.
Well, no, it's not like one. It is.
Oh, my mistake. My
It
apologies.
is. I too remember Crackdown.
Oh my god. The first
The first Crackdown was, oh man, what a gem.
now the second one is pretty good. At least the demo that I played of
I
it.
can't remember if I played the second one.
Now the third one, however, is fucking trash.
Yeah, the third one's, oh god.
Yeah,
The
Crackdown
power of
was,
the cloud.
yeah. Oh, whoops! More powerful than 1080. Oh no, sorry. The GTX Titans.
I bet
Graphics.
Crackdown would run so much better if it ran on Sony's SSD. The
Yeah, oh my
graphics
God.
would be so amazing.
I bet they would.
SSD makes graphics actually.
Same as Journo's using Dark Souls for hard game. Yeah, like Dark Souls is a difficult game, sure, but it is not the most difficult game.
Oh man, I'm having trouble with this game. Could this possibly be a Dark Souls reference?
This game is actually Dark Souls.
This game is kind of busting my balls. Is this Dark Souls?
Like I
Doom
don't know.
Eternal, more like Souls Eternal. Dude, I fell off those platforms so many times. It's artificial difficulty.
It is artificial difficulty.
This shit's all made up.
So one last part that I know I wanted to at least get into people's brains is the video that we
I was about
watched.
to say we're rambling now.
Yeah. Well, to get us back on topic of
We're at
something.
the end.
Yeah, we're at the end of it, but it was the video that we watched yesterday, and it was by Ordinary. Here it is. Or some Ordinary Gamers, where he plays through The Last of Us Part 2. And in this game, he turns on the accessibility settings.
This man's wholesome.
Yeah, he is a very wholesome content creator, but there's accessibility options in the game that, if you turn them on, make you godlike.
Let's go, salamanders.
Yep, you become a sneaky salamander. So one of the settings for accessibility in the game is that as long as you're prone, you are invisible. I shit you not. That's the thing for accessibility.
Dun, 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 dun.
And so you can just sneak around, even if they look directly at you, nothing happens.
Oh shit, where'd you come from?
Yeah, I think this wasn't even the worst example. Like this one.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that was
Wait,
one of the
no,
worst ones.
To check on the other guy.
Yeah, right there in front of them. As long as you're prone, you are invisible. The game plays itself.
Shut up. Oh my god, Ellie, are you the villain?
No, she killed those people for
Are
justifiable
you
reasons.
the monster? Oh my god, Ellie, how could you? Not the Dotterino.
Like, this is another thing for the accessibility for people that can't see very well, people such as myself. You can turn the enemies red and your allies blue, and everything else is just grayscale, essentially.
I really hate mowing down my own allies. It happens way more than I'd care to admit.
And again,
Halo,
put that
you
on
never
top of it.
know- You never know who's on your side in Halo.
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude, remember the Pillar of Autumn level where you're on the
No,
ship?
sir. I have never played all the way through a Halo game.
At the very start of Halo, you're trapped on a ship,
Nope.
and there's a bunch of like humans and Marines
Nope.
everywhere, and you have to shoot your way out.
I've
And
never.
They lock you. They lock you in the command room, and you never get out. It's a buggy game. Halo is a very buggy game.
You can pretty much cheese all of these things. Aiming mode, listen mode, sprinting, melee combos, repeated button presses where you can have it hold instead of tap. Semantics.
I'm just saying, where is the player AI? Just let me turn on the player AI. Just let it play itself. Damn it.
It just gets through all of the
There's
game for you.
accessibility options, which I'm all about. And then there's
Cheating.
a lot of accessibility
Cheat codes.
options.
There it is. The AI that breaks itself.
Well, see, that's fair. That might be the edge of the AI's patrol radius. But the fact that the playtesters didn't catch that is a little weird. Oh my god, I feel bad for hurting this woman.
Dead.
Oh my god, Ellie, how could you?
Her head's
Jesus,
blown
Ellie.
off. There's no going back.
Ellie, how could you?
They too were the last of us.
Doesn't this make you just want to bite her fingers off?
Doesn't this just kind of make you a little antsy where you start chewing at your fingernails and you accidentally get a couple of skin particles in there?
Bite it off at the, the knuckle.
Right at the fucking knuckle of your finger. That's why the one picture is just so good.
Zombies.
It's just amazing. Here, let me grab it for you on the twitter.com. The best all-knowing website. It's beautiful. Oh my god. If they DMCA any part of this video, at least they're not going to DMCA this. This is
At
just...
least DMC that. No, specifically that.
Yeah,
I want them to DMCA a meme.
That
Do it.
one. That one would be the best.
Right there. He's a biter.
See, where are the zombies in this game?
Zombies? What?
Zombies. They don't exist in this game. Whoops. Wait, I mean they do, but they're, like I said, they're just
props.
more of an
They're
inconvenience.
They're props.
Where's it at here? But before we had that, before we had that wonderful picture, we did have the good shit. Oh man, is it like all the way up here?
Stop reusing images on your Twitter.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, Necro13 has never had an original tweet in his life.
Well, I mean,
I never reuse images ever. And this guy,
there it is.
this guy's Twitter account is labeled eco-friendly.
Some would say.
He always recycles. That's such a good comic, though.
Behold, our newest cutscenes. Are you sure this will fit into our game about zombies? Zombies.
Zombies. That sounds
Zombies.
stupid.
Maybe the real zombies were inside of us all along.
Absolutely true.
Maybe the real zombies were the friends we met along the way. Who knows?
Oh, you mean the gamers?
Whoa. I'm not a gamer because I have a life, but because I have multiple lives.
I'm not a gamer because I have so much sex. Dude,
Half the nipple goodbye
practically-
stream, yeah, probably.
practically drowning in sex.
But
You wouldn't believe.
She's so mannish that you would almost never even notice.
Well, it's because you haven't had sex.
So if the stream gets taken down, I'm sure we'll be fine. No one cares. No one cares that much.
Is it a nipple? You can't prove Abby is male or female in that image.
Yeah, you really
prove-
can't.
You really can't. It's called androgyny.
Whoa.
Big word. I
That
probably
is
fucked it up.
that is a big word, and you gotta slow down
And
here.
androgynous.
I can't like, brain that hard today.
Yeah, my brain kind of hurts at the moment.
So, Jeans, sir, we're at the end of the live stream.
Yeah, we
At
are.
the end of the podcast. What do you have to promote coming up soon?
Death Stranding comes out on PC in July. Death Stranding was delayed because of the vid, but don't worry, it's still gonna come out. I expect it to be fantastic. It's gonna be probably as great as when I first played through it. I dumped several days in a row playing Death Stranding on my PS4 Pro, Death Stranding Edition. I'm very excited to get back into it on the PC. Only this time, I'm going to beat everybody to setting up all the useful structures. I'm going to farm that clout. I'm going to reconnect with fellow human beings and get so many likes.
Oh, wait, that's illegal.
Oh, but my friend, it's life. Have you really lived if you're not farming likes in a virtual space?
Maybe. Oh.
Kojima called us just what we were. Dirty clout chasers.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud him.
Apparently there's a tweet from Circus Hellspawn. Oh yeah, and apparently the journalists are paid reviewers' accusations are true.
That was never in doubt.
Yeah, that was never in doubt, really.
I guess it was like a big titty Twitch thought. e-girl that was saying, "Oh no, we're not actually paid. As a former journalist, we're not actually paid." And I was sitting there like, "Bruh." Some people argued, "Oh, but she doesn't have any incentive to lie about it." I said, "Dude, she has every reason to lie about it. She still has friends that are getting paid to make those reviews. You know, just because you don't do it anymore, it doesn't mean you still don't do it. That's great. The grudge kid. That's great."
I don't think I have anything really to promote myself coming up. If we do a stream this next time on YouTube, on the main channel, what I'm going to do is probably I had a couple of videos I think lined up because trust me, they're not very smart. We can probably do a Mother's Basement video about the Dragon Ball Z Fighters game.
Yes.
And I think I had like another one, I think from someone else. I can't remember. I looked them up and I remember the video from such a long time ago. But I have to look it up again.
On the to-do list is fitting in VR content. Might as well, spoiler alert, VR content soon.
Live 2D content, very close.
Live 2D and VR, and we're working on stuff. It might not look like we're exceptionally creative individuals, but we're working on stuff. We're thinking.
I know. See, the first step of acknowledging that we have a problem is just to bring it out front.
It's like the Dreamcast marketing. You know, it's thinking. We're thinking really hard.
Dreaming very big, by the way.
Promising great stuff eventually. Look forward to it, please.
Oh no.
Oh
no. You guys can't see it on stream. Don't worry about it. Meet the groomer.
All right. Well, anyways.
Oh!
Just shut it down.
Enough.
Yeah.
Go to the Comfortable Jeans stream and Twitch.